I don't need glasses for reading, but for distance, and I don't want to miss a thing tonight, okay? Already I can see there's all kinds of feeling in this church tonight, right? When I was graduating from every institution I graduated from, this is how I felt. I felt all the emotion. I didn't want to leave. I had my friends. I had so many memories. I loved it. And I had classmates saying, gosh, we're out of here. Finally, we're out of here. I never felt that. I always felt, oh my God, this is hard to move on. So I asked the question, is this an end or a beginning? Is tonight an end of something or the beginning of something? Now, I have to say, we are particularly blessed, at least I know I am, because we have some identical twins. And when I was a young boy, your age, there was a period of time when they used to love to make commercials with identical twins. Remember them? I'll remember the one that always has struck me the most, the Certs commercial. I don't know if anybody remembers this, Certs. And I think they're still in the market, Certs. Certs is a breath mint, and Certs is a candy mint. And so these two twins would come out there, and one would go over here and say, Certs is a breath mint. And this one over here would say, Certs is a candy mint. And then this other one a little more aggressively would say, Certs is a breath mint. And then this one would say, Certs is a candy mint. And then the announcer came out and said, stop, you're both right. And that's tonight. It's the end of something and the beginning of something. It's the end of 8 or 9 years or any other number of years that you might have been in the school, depending on each of you. That's a chunk of time. And I have to admit it is a huge period of change and growth. Now, funny for me, last year was the first year I went to the kindergarten, not called graduation, promotion, because every year prior, I was always at the seminary at a week of continuing education for priests. So all my years, 42 years, I never went. I always missed it. Last year was the first time I went, and I was amazed. And as I listened to the parents, all of them, they came. I heard them say, oh, the change is the difference. And it struck me that, I don't know if I'm correct, but I asked a few people, and that this period, that pre-K and K and up to first grade is probably where the most dramatic changes happen. That they go from being a munchkin, just a little munchkin, into this little human being that has some knowledge. And it's amazing growth. But then what happens, it seems to me, is this continual deepening of growth. Not just of knowledge, and not just new knowledge, but like connecting the dots of learning about life and growing. It's not just information, it's formation, a growing of a human person, a spiritual person. And then like yesterday when we were at the awards ceremony, the baccalaureate, as you've done, probably 1,000 times, let us place ourselves. All right, so we've done that 1,000 times. And what does that mean? That you kept deepening and growing in your attempted relationship with God and this universe, to grow in understanding who you are as a child, a son or daughter of God. And you've done that 1,000 times. And as you've grown in knowledge and information and spirituality and relationship and friendships, that's where all the tears come from, right? All these friendships and all this pain, this separation. It's the end of something big. It really is. I think the 8th grade graduation in some ways is the biggest one because of just probably the age where people are. It's a big thing to end this 8 or 9 years. But it's also a big beginning. It's a big beginning. This is like, a fish coming out of the fish pool and being dumped in the ocean. OMG, this is huge. And what will continue to happen in terms of growth and challenges what's going to be asked of you, not only by school and your parents, but your friends and those who are not your friends, but they say you're friends, and what you're going to be challenged to do and become and decide over the next 4 years is frightful. It's an ending and it's a beginning. Now, tonight we have two great passages of Scripture, three, but the first one, Paul's leaving his companions, his apostles, the apostles of Jesus, his friends, his disciples. He says, this is it. You're not going to see me again. This is it. Last time. Probably going to die now. And when he gets on the ship and leaves them, they end up in tears. And he tells them, you're going to go forward. You got to go on without me. And you're going to have challenges too. They're going to come after you like wolves. You're going to have to use everything I've given you and be the best you can be. Then Jesus says something similar. He says, and actually, this Lent is, I think, the longest Lent and Easter we can have by 2 days. I think it could only be 2 days longer. It's about the longest we've got. And I don't remember the last time I celebrated a Lent and Easter that had a graduation in this week before Pentecost. Because we have this farewell story of Jesus. He's praying to God the Father. And the beautiful things he says in chapter 17 of John, Father, that they may be one as you and I are one. You living in me, I living in you, that I may live in them, they may live in me. And all of this intimate language about what's happened to us. Look at what has happened. How we have grown in love. How we have become one. So, in these farewell speeches, I hear a lot about your life. You're saying goodbye, really, to your babyhood as you go into your teenage years. Tough years, let me tell you, they're tough years. Preparing for those college and adult years. And these are critical times for you, critical times. So I hope that the ending of these 8 or 9 years, that you will most of all feel gratitude for all that you've received from your teachers, from the school, from the parish, from your parents, from your grandparents, from your tios and tias, for all the people that love you, from this parish community. You know those men with feathers on them that when we came in here, those Knights of Columbus, they begged to be a part of this. We want to be here for them. We want to be there to march down that aisle. When you go out, they're going to pull their swords. I hope they don't pluck anybody. I keep telling them, please don't. This is part of their ceremony. They're a group of men that have been around the church for a few hundred years. It's an ancient order. And they said, we're in the parish and we want to be there for our 8th graders. We want to send them off. This is important to us. And we want them to know how important they are to us. And look around. That's what this evening is about. But as you go forward, I hope you will go forward with this attitude of gratitude. We've been given a lot. Therefore, a lot is expected of us. A lot of it is expected from us. And the next few years, we're going to prove, Mommy, Daddy, who poured a lot of money into our education, we're going to prove to you that this meant something. We're going to prove to you that we've gained a whole bunch. We're going to prove to you that as a result of your love and your energy around us and the energy of this parish and school, we got a lot to give. And we're going to make a difference. Search is a breath mint. No, it's a candy mint. This is an ending. This is a beginning. But tonight, we pause at the end and before we really begin to celebrate this moment, the graduation, to say thank you for all that we've received and all that we hope for to come. Please stand.